Hi, boys and girls. Storytime Bear here. Welcome to our fall story time. I have some fun stories to share with you today. Our first story is a mystery about a little red house with no doors or windows and a star hidden inside. After that, we'll visit a little squirrel who's hard at work. We also have a story, a humorous one, about 5 owls in a tree. And the last story that I wanted to share today is about 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. So come on and join me now for some fall fun stories.
Once there was a little boy who had played almost all day. He had played with all his toys and all the games he knew. He could not think of anything else to do. So he went to his mother and asked, "Mother, what shall I do now?" His mother said, "I know about a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside. You can find it if you go look for it." So the little boy went outside, and there he met a little girl. He asked, "Do you know where there is a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside?" The little girl said, "No, I don't know where there's a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside. But you can ask my daddy. He's a farmer and he knows lots of things. He's down by the barn and maybe he can help you." So the little boy went to the farmer down by the barn and said, "Do you know where there is a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside?" "No," said the farmer, "I don't know. But why don't you ask grandmother? She is in her house up on the hill. She is very wise and knows about many things. Maybe she can help you." So the little boy went up the hill to grandmother's and asked, "Do you know where there's a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside?" "No," answered grandmother, "I don't know. But you ask the wind, for the wind goes everywhere, and I'm sure he can help you." So the little boy went outside and asked the wind, "Do you know where I can find a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside?" And the wind said, "Oh, ooh." And it sounded to the little boy as if the wind said, "Come with me." So the little boy ran after the wind. He ran through the grass and into the orchard, and there on the ground he found the little house. The little red house with no doors, no windows, and a star inside. He picked it up, and it filled both of his hands. He ran home to his mother and said, "Look, Mother, I found a little red house with no doors and no windows, but I cannot see the star." So this is what his mother did. She cut the apple across the middle from side to side, not top to bottom. "Now I see the star," said the little boy. Do you?
Hey, little squirrel, what are you doing today?
I'm busy collecting nuts to store because winter's on its way.
Squirrels like to work, not play, before the warm weather goes away.
I'm making sure to mark my spot so I can find them on the dot. I'll have food all winter long, and when the springtime comes, I'll be healthy and strong.
There were once 5 owls, up in a tree. They were hooting to each other, just as loud as you please.
The big owl said, "Hoo!"
The next one did too.
The third one said, "Hoo!"
The fourth one did too.
But the smallest said, "What?"
The first 4 looked and shook their heads. You should say what the rest of us said.
The big owl said, "Hoo!"
The next one did too.
The third said, "Hoo!"
And the fourth one did too.
But the smallest said, "Where?"
You must try to learn to hoot the right way. You'll just have to practice all night and all day.
The big owl said, "Hoo!"
The next one did too.
The third said, "Hoo!"
And the fourth one did too.
But the smallest said, "When?"
He did what they asked. He knew that he should. He practiced all night in the cold, dark woods.
The big owl said,
Whoo! And the next one did too.
the third said, whoo!
And the fourth one did too.
But the smallest said, why?
They shook their heads and their wings got rather flappy. If you would just come close, it would make us very happy.
The big owl said, what?
The next one said, where?
The third said, when?
The fourth one said, why?
Then the smallest said, who?
Five little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said,
Oh my, it's getting late.
the second one said,
There are witches in the air.
the third one said,
But we don't care.
the fourth one said,
Let's run and run and run.
the fifth one said,
I'm ready for some fun.
ooh went the wind, and out went the lights, and the five little pumpkins rolled out of sight.
Here's a few of our favorite books at our library. You can look for them at your library. Autumn Leaves Are Falling, written by Maria Fleming, illustrated by Melissa Sweet. The Pumpkin Patch, story and photos by Elizabeth King. I Like Red, written and illustrated by Robert Bright. And The Chipmunk at Hollow Tree Lane, written by Victoria Sharrow and illustrated by Alan Davis. Be sure to check them out at your library.
Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our fall story time today as much as I did. Be sure to check back soon for another new story time. And don't forget to visit your local library and check out some of the books we mentioned here. See you next time!